Well, hello there, friends. Let's talk about Sundial growers. And you know what? I dare say this has been a very interesting week for Sundial growers. I know there's a lot of people that are like, I could care less about Sundial growers. And then there's another clip of people who are like, you know what? This is the best stock in the world, and this is going to be the future of cannabis companies. I like the look, I like the feel, I like everything about it, and you know what? This one's going to be here to stick around. So, looking at a chart this week with Sundial growers, you know, it was a very interesting week. It started off the week just under 90 cents, going down into the mid 80s, and then playing around the 90s, 80-cent range, and pretty much having kind of a boring week until we get to the middle of the week, seeing Sundial break into $1, right back into $1. You know, now seeing Sundial break into $1 is not totally uncommon. You know, it's been here a few times already, but you know, this 80-cent, 90-cent range we're seeing with Sundial growers, I'm gonna go ahead and say this out loud personally. You know, I think this is a great spot for Sundial growers. Now, let me explain why, because I can hear the fan mail coming in right now with me saying that. Personally, I am very bullish on Sundial growers. You know, I am going to be here for a very long time with this company. I like the look of it. I like the feel of it. I like everything about it, and I'm not even a cannabis user, but I am very into aesthetics, and you know, this company is very aesthetically pleasing. And if you don't invest in Sundial growers, or you do invest in Sundial growers, I highly recommend that you look at their website and see how stunning their packaging, products, everything they have to offer, even their website, what it looks like. It's a very pleasing website to be on. Now, the 23rd here, when Sundial shot up to $1, that was about a 24 million hit on volume, and that's actually pretty good volume for Sundial growers, and then staying around, you know, 10 million to 20 million, and now ending the week going right back into right under $1. So still, we're in some pretty big ground for Sundial growers. And I've said this in the past, if you can get Sundial growers anywhere around the 70 cents to 80-cent range, I think you're going to be in a safe spot, because we do know that Sundial growers, you know, they had a lot of stock offerings when they had that big hit in February. They took 2 stock offerings back to back. That's like almost within a 2-week, maybe a 1-week period, which was kind of crazy, but they paid off debt. They poured money right back into the company, and they have had a lot of cash on hand to be able to structure the company more, survive through this, you know, little bit of, you know, living in this pandemic world still. They have been pushing forward. So I won't give my speech where I say, you know what, we've got to wait our time. We've got to look into the future for what cannabis stocks can be, because obviously this stuff is not legal everywhere. And where it is legal, you know, it has regulations: when, what time, who, with, and what, when, why you can use it, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, I think that's pretty obvious at this point. But 2 things that I do like about Sundial growers. Yes, it took that stock offering and it shot the stock down. But in that, Sundial paid off debt. They put money in the bank. They have money to keep the company alive. And the other aspect is that they are working with a lot of other cannabis companies. You know, they're formulating, they're partnering with other companies, which honestly is quite common. You see this in the cannabis sector quite a bit. Aurora is famous for doing this themselves. The possibilities of a reverse stock split happening. Now, obviously, if that were to happen, we would talk about that. There are no whispers of that actually happening. Obviously, a reverse stock split would not be good at all. I've only seen a reverse stock split be good in like 2 situations where it actually did straighten out the stock, but most of the time it does not work out too well. But there are no talks of reverse split. So when you're buying Sundial, you're going, well, how long am I going to have to hold this stuff for it to actually turn into something, for it actually to mature into something? You know, a little play on words there, but how long am I going to have to hold this? Honestly, the next 4 years might be one of the best things to happen for cannabis stock. So now that we, America, we have a Democratic Party running the country right now, you know, obviously the cannabis sector is really going to take the effect from that, because they are trying to push it, sell it, market, and obviously get tax off of it, which in turn is going to be great for every cannabis stock. And the other side of that is great for the investor. So the word on the street is that by 2026, you know, the global market for cannabis should be $90 billion. And obviously, I'm not just looking at America to be completely legalized, you know, everywhere we want, but pretty much everywhere else, it almost is legal. Obviously, America is going to be one of the biggest customer bases for cannabis. So with legalization, in the hope that Sundial can manage their money well, it can manage their product well, it can look to the future. The fact that Sundial is still sitting around the dollar play zone, I think it's still really healthy, and the stock still has a lot of volume. It's still being traded quite a bit, and with that kind of movement, that means people are still paying attention to it. Even if they are just day trading it, they're still adding volume, they're still adding stocks being sold, bought, all that. So that's still healthy for the stock itself. So friends, with all that said, I just want to give a quick update what we're seeing with Sundial Growers. I'm still a fan of this stock. I'm still a fan of this company. I'm still a fan of what they have to offer and the future that could possibly be there for them as a company. But friends, remember, be positive, be you. Take time to invest in your future. It is so important. I wish you all the luck in the stock market. I really do. Friends, I will talk to you very soon. Bye, everyone.